Hey everyone, cheers. This is episode 252 of the Fight Library. After another kind of layoff, I've kind of put some things into perspective for what I want for my content strategy. So like, I don't know. I was doing stuff and it's like, oh, I'm gonna do this for be able to travel, go to cool events, and all this kind of stuff. Except, I kind of lost the mission of the Fight Library. So, lo and behold, 2024, we're putting Fight Library first. That's just how it's going to have to be. So, I'm just kind of getting the podcast thing going again. I got my YouTube thing, which I think that's going to go to infinity now because you can see me holding the phone up and blah, blah. That'll be funny. I don't know. Let's see. What am I doing here? We'll start the podcast in a moment here. No, I don't want to show that. Alright, well, that didn't do anything. Let's do a test real quick. I'm currently remembering how to work this. Test. Will it pop up? There it is. Comment in that corner. That's what I wanted to know. So now let me tweet this out. Live podcast, come ask questions, and paste. Think we should do it on Facebook too? I do. So we're going to do it on Facebook. Trying to see if there's any other little neat tricks that this app on my iPad has. Prism is called. And here we all right, well, there's that. Let's go ahead and start it off, right? What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 252 of the Fight Library. 52. I'm your host, Blaine Henry, and today we're going to be discussing Canelo versus Jermell Charlo, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about Ties getting beat up in one championship. Kind of sucks for them, but hey, that's what happens. It's the name of the game, baby. So, I've been working on ways to approach the podcast here, and I've kind of overcomplicated things, and I've overcomplicated a lot of things for a lot of reasons. So I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm not. We're just gonna sit down. We're gonna have a chat on Sunday evenings, live on the tubes, and you'll also be able to catch this on your podcast service or Substack. Spoiler alert: Substack's the best way to follow me on anything. Be it, you like the podcast, or you like the written articles, or you like the videos, they're all there. So yeah, with that, I've got an article coming with Canelo. Obviously, we're going to talk a lot about what that article is going to entail today. You'll be able to catch on the Substack, and you'll also be able to catch it on my website, fight-library.com, and then Substack will be fightlibrary.substack.com. That's how you find it. If you're listening to this podcast on Substack, you're the man or the woman. Yeah. So, Canelo, he went out there and he took on Jermell Charlo, the better of the Charlos, though the smaller of the Charlos. Canelo, honestly, he looked like the bigger guy. I mean, the smaller guy. He didn't look like the bigger guy. What am I saying? He looked like the smaller guy in there. And, you know, Charlo, he was thicker. Way thicker. Hey. He was way thicker, but Charlo was taller, and he had a longer reach. So, you know, that kind of, I was worried about that going into this, but as the fight, basically from the beginning of the fight, I was like, you know, Canelo's going to be all right, because he's just going to go out there and do whatever he wants to Charlo, it seems like. It's not like he's out there and he's going to go and get walked down by Jermell Charlo, because it's freaking Canelo, man. He doesn't get beat like this, you know. This is not how he fights. He doesn't go out there and yeah. Anyway, so it was a weird fight. It was a good fight, but it was weird. So, like, how do I put this? So Canelo's just better. I mean, that's it. Canelo is just the better fighter. I mean, he used to be this more dynamic of a striker. He used to get a little bit more creative. I say in his old age, he's 32, 33, something like that. So in his old age, you know, Canelo simplified a little bit. You know, he's kind of hung his hat on not getting too crazy. You know, I think I first saw this against like Triple G, the rematch, when he basically lost the first one, but they gave them a draw just to save Canelo's hide. But in the rematch, I saw him, you know, we're going to simplify it a little bit. We're going back to the basics. So, you know, short footwork that keeps me going. I have, you know, he actually stopped jabbing up until this fight. Like, his jabbing kind of fell off a cliff, and then this fight he brought it back, I guess. I don't know. When he was fighting, like, Sergey Kovalev and Bivol, you'll see he doesn't jab as much because that leaves him open, and he doesn't want to be left open against these bigger fighters. So even at like 168 where he's at now, Canelo kind of, you know, he's a smaller guy. He should be fighting at 160, but he likes 168. He doesn't cut as much weight, which, I mean, I get it, you know. Let's not cut the weight. This sucks. So yeah, I mean, it really is one of those things that Canelo's like, he's a step above everybody else. He's a step above Charlo. He's a step above whoever he fights. He's just one step ahead, which I get, you know. That's part of being the best. And if there's anybody in boxing that's the best, it's either Crawford, in a way, or Canelo. Even if Canelo kind of lost his Bivol fight, you know. But when leading into that fight, I kind of like, how do I say this? I was like, he's flying too close to the sun. This is the story of Icarus all over again. So, like, what is he doing? You know, and everybody was like, oh, he beat Kovalev. And I was like, yeah, he did beat Kovalev, but Kovalev is also very, very, very old. Okay, so, yeah, like, 174 is not his weight. It's way too big for him. 168 is probably a little too big for him, but he's freaking Canelo, and he could do what he wants. So, yeah, like, he's not worried about it, right? He went out with Charlo, so, like, let's talk about the fight a little bit. He went out there with Charlo, and first thing he does is he's first of all, he's walking Charlo down. You're the smaller guy, Charlo. I'm the better boxer. I'm the more powerful puncher. There's no reason I shouldn't be dropping, or there's no reason I should not be walking you down. And Canelo walked him down. Like, he just literally, high guard, Canelo, you know, he has that high guard now, and he walked through everything Charlo threw. And in the beginning, Charlo didn't even throw anything. He was like, oh my God, I'm on the back foot. What is going on here? So what we're going to be talking about in the article that's coming out, you know, shameless plug, Substack, fightlibrary.substack.com. What we're going to be talking about in that is like, he hits the arm, you know, right there. Hits your shoulder, hits your arm. And yeah, that may not score points. Okay. While it doesn't score points, it still freaking hurts. So your arm will go dead. it'll be like, it'll just be painful. It's harder to keep your guard up. The power in your punches. I know punching power comes from your hips, but at the same time, like, your arms are part of that too. So yeah, you gotta be in good shape, and you gotta have your arm strength there for it too. So I mean, punching the arms, it's a genius technique, and not enough people do it because it doesn't score. So Canelo, and I think part of that is like the chin issue. Like, a lot of people are worried that their chin won't hold up, and that's valid, but it's not always truthful. Honestly, like, it's not always like, yeah, you got to go out there and you got to do what you got to do for sure, but at the same time, like, you got to trust yourself a little bit. But then if you're like, you're somebody that's known to have a glass chin, like Amir Khan, for example, yeah, I get it. Like, I'm not going to say Amir Khan's going to punch the arms. I mean, he is fast. He could get away with it for sure, but he didn't have all that power like Canelo has. So Canelo's putting everything he can into these arm punches, and it's like, oh, wow, this is hurting Charlo. And, like, it hurt Charlo. He kind of slowed down a bit. That's what happened. He slowed down. So, like, I get that those don't score, but you can't ignore them. Like, Comping Box isn't going to tell you, oh, these punches, I mean, that hurt his average for sure, But eventually, that's going to lower your guard. That takes away Charlo's punching power, like Canelo was actually scared of it or anything. But, like, takes his punching power away. And, like, this is what he did against Kovalev. Like, he punched the arms of Kovalev, brought his arms down, and came up top. So, I said on Twitter also, like, during the fight, nobody on the planet has a better left hook than Canelo does. Like, nobody. There's not a better left hooker on the planet. Out of orthodox, lead left hook, I'm talking here. So, like, there's nobody better. So what does he do with this world-class number one left hook? Canelo hits the body. Oh, I love it. He hits the body so much, and it's so painful, but I love it every second. Every single time he does it, it's absolutely phenomenal. I mean, he just goes to the body, he smashes, and it's quick and heavy. Oh, you can see these guys wilt early, like, oh, I don't like this one bit. And Charlo's skilled enough to go out there and not get beat up, or not get knocked out. He knows I have to keep my my hand up. It would be like, so he's orthodox. Yeah, he has to keep his right hand up because that left hook's coming. So he's disciplined enough to do that, but a lot of people aren't. So that left hook also, I don't know why, but like Canelo didn't go to the body against like John Ryder and stuff, and that's with a southpaw, because that's what he struggles with, the southpaws. Lara and Ryder, and I can't remember the rest, but like when you go to the body, the liver's up front, and that lead hook to the body really hurts. Like, it's painful, and it can knock you out. Like, so we saw that with like Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell, that body knockout, because that lead hook to the body is right there. But this is a southpaw. I mean, it's an orthodox versus orthodox matchup. So like Canelo could get away with it all, and yeah, he was just masterful, So like another one of these things that he does that's really basic, but like he keeps his footwork under him. He shuffles his feet all the time. He's not crossing feet. He's not even really out there pivoting all that much. He'll let you escape. He cuts the ring off. Just ask Charlo. He cut the ring off a lot against Charlo, but he's also like just smashing these people, keeping safe footwork, and he goes to the body a lot. What's not to love about it? So yeah, round 7, Canelo ends up dropping Charlo, just kind of right hook over the top, obviously from that body work. He wants to keep his hands low, and then a uppercut, and Charlo's like, I'm hurt, I'm taking a knee, I don't want to go out. So yeah, I mean, that was really cool. I like Canelo. I like watching him fight because he's the best at what he does, and it's not even close. He's literally the best at what he does. I mean, Bud Crawford, in a way, I get it, but Like, there's not many boxers out there like Canelo ever in history. So, yeah. The fight went on, and, Charlo, he finally started, like, throwing punches, and he started to get off and not really worry about the consequences coming back at him as much, which he doesn't need to not worry about the consequences, but at the same time, he needs to produce some offense, and he didn't do that for the first half of the fight. But after he got dropped, he started coming in, double jabbing, and really just kind of hurting or trying to hurt Canelo, and it didn't work. Obviously, it's Canelo, and his chin's made of a house. His whole chin's a house. Like, you punch a house, what's it gonna do? It's gonna stand there. So, but yeah, it was a fine fight. It was a return to form. So, like, a lot of people talk about, like, so he had this stretch of 3 fights where it was Dimitri Bivol, Triple G, and then John Ryder. Those 3 fights. And John Ryder was actually the last fight we talked about. Like, it's Canelo Wash. I didn't even go back and listen to that yet. But anyway, so, like, he didn't look good against Ryder because he's a southpaw. Triple G's always been tough for him. And Bivol's a monster. He's a giant. He can have a bad stretch and still win. As a matter of fact, after he lost to Floyd, he went on a bad stretch too. I think it was Lara that everybody swore he lost. That was his second fight after Floyd. Yeah. Like, Canelo's not perfect. We know that. I mean, with Floyd and Bivol now, but, like, even when he wins, it's always, if it ain't knockout, he's like, everybody's like, oh, it's not big. But he's fighting bigger men. He's fighting at 168. He should be fighting at 160. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with these results. Yeah, I mean, he's got the knockouts of Plant and Billy Joe Saunders and all them, but, like, yeah, I mean, it's Canelo, bro. He's going to go out there and he's going to box how he likes to box. So, like, as for what's next for Canelo, I mean, there's no reason I want to see the Terrence Crawford or Dimitri Bivol fights. I mean, I just don't. First of all, like, Terrence fights at 147. He came up from 130. The lowest Canelo ever fought was 154. Dude fought at 174. Like, there's reason we have weight classes. There's a reason. And Terrence Crawford doesn't want to find out the hard way and end up like Errol Spence, his buddy Errol Spence, did to Mikey Garcia. Mikey got the hell beat out. He was undefeated when he fought Errol Spence, and he got the brakes beat off of him. So, like, why does Crawford want to go up there and fight? I mean, I know I'm daring to be great. That's like the saying right now, dare to be great. Like, so what? It's Canelo. This guy's 20, 30 pounds bigger than you, and we have weight classes in boxing and fighting for a reason, because strength actually matters. As for the Bivol rematch, there's weight classes for a reason, and it's the opposite way. It's because Canelo is too small for Bivol. I mean, like, imagine if you fought Beterbiev. He could probably win Beterbiev. I really don't hold Beterbiev way too high, honestly, but he's good. And also, speaking of Beterbiev, but, like, that's who Bivol needs to be concentrated on, is Artur Beterbiev, because undisputed. It'll do way more than beating Canelo a second time for you, bro. So go get that undisputed. Maybe Canelo will come up and fight for another undisputed, or you can go down and fight for an undisputed for your second weight class. It'd be like Bud. Ooh, long weekend, guys. So, yeah, I mean, that I don't like. Obviously, the obvious choice for what's next for Canelo is David Benavidez. Doubt it happens next. I think we'll have a tune-up. Canelo said Cinco de Mayo. Now, Benavidez is supposed to be fighting Demetrius Andrade. Poo-poo Andrade, as I like to call him. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Andrade, really. I don't think he's that good of a boxer. And Benavidez should, like, knock him out. I can see that happening. So, yeah, I mean, let's see what happens first in November 25th when those two are supposed to fight. I guess. I mean, I think that's the way to go. But, yeah, I'm impressed by Canelo. I think he's a fantastic fighter. I think he's got, he's one of the best Mexican fighters of all time. And yeah, so let's move on. Let's talk about Cedric Doumbé for a second. 7-second knockout. We learned nothing about him except he can catch a kick and punish for that. So that's all the time we're going to spend on that because didn't learn anything. Nobody shot a takedown on him or nothing. So is he a good fighter? Yeah, he's a very good kickboxer. But is he a good MMA fighter? We'll figure it out. One championship, though, had a lot of good stuff on there. And honestly, I didn't watch I really only cared about John Lineker. And he barely won. So he took on Stephen Lohman from the Philippines. And he's got these weird, shovel hooks or something like that. I can't do it while I'm sitting down, but that was ugly. But he's got these weird shovel hooks, and it's not aesthetically pleasing at all. I don't get it. But, he ended up getting the decision. From the top stamp, Fairtex won an interim strawweight title, and now everybody seems to think she's a three-sport champion, but it's an interim title. Stamp Fairtex is still a kickboxing and Muay Thai champ, and she hasn't gotten over the hump for the champ. Is Angela Lee that? She might be the actual champ now, but she didn't beat the champ to get the belt, so Smilla Sundell was, she's a Swedish 18-year-old Muay Thai. I did an interview with her on Bloody Elbow. You should go check that out. But she beat Alicia Rodriguez, third round TKO for the flyweight title that she had already won. Danielle Kelly beat Jessica Kahn. Danielle Kelly's a fantastic grappler. I really kind of zoned out for that one, though. But anyways, Danielle Kelly beat Jessica Kahn for the inaugural strawweight championship, which is really atomweight 115, I believe, or I don't know. One's weight classes are stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Zhang Jingnan, pillow fist Jingnan, can't knock anybody out. Knocked out Nat something, I can't say her last name, in a special rules match. So it was 4-ounce gloves, 3 3-minute rounds, punches only. So in other words, it was 4-ounce boxing. Why it wasn't longer rounds, I don't know. It should have been 4 rounds. That's what we start at with boxing, not 3. Man, okay. Zhang Jingnan won a fight that didn't matter. Custom rule bout, so if we can get more 4-ounce boxing, I'm cool with. Let's see. John Lineker, yeah, he was ugly. Dmitry Meshakov beat a Thai whose name, Rungwari. Oh, the Thai guys were so upset this night because, did they get a single win? Yeah, Stamp won. And I don't think they're too fond of Stamp, so. Yeah. So, yeah, Dimitri, he kind of just boxed, and that's what we're seeing with these Thai boxings right now. It's like, I'm just going to throw my hands while you kick, bro. You want to get on one foot and box me? Come on. I'll box you while you're standing on one leg and knock you down. And that's exactly what happened. He won in first round via 3 knockdown rule. Edward Foliang and Amir Khan had an old man off, and Foliang looked terrible. He really did, and Khan was getting the best of him until round 3, the last round, when Foliang eventually knocked him out. So, a big left hook, slumped him against the fence. It was perfect. It was beautiful. Mauro Sorelli beat Paul Elliott. Oh, Asa 10 Pal. Oh, my gosh. All right, so I got to do a video on Asa 10 Pal in the future. I don't know how, because one's very stingy when it comes to their media, but, Asa 10 Pal knocked out Rambo Lek and dominated this fight. So, Rambo Lek got off and hurt Asa 10 Pal quite a few times, but Asa stayed in his face and stayed on the gas and just kept going, and eventually, man, he just stepped and caught him with a straight that put his lights clean out. It was absolutely fantastic. I can't recommend watching that fight enough. If you watch one fight from that one card, watch the Asa 10 Pal Rambo Lek fight, because, whoo, good fight. Really good fight. One of the best. We just got done watching Rod Tang and Super Lek, so, we're kind of spoiled, but that's a good fight. You'll like it. An American Thai guy beating a Thai guy, or American Muay Thai fighter beating a Thai guy at his own sport. So it was pretty cool. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. Appreciate you all who come out, everybody who listen. You are the best. Get at me on Twitter, Blaine Henry TFL. Substack, Fight Library to Substack.com, and then Fight-Library. You get in on all the cool stuff. Drop your email on the Substack, and you'll get all of my website stuff to your email address. So most of the stuff right there is free. I got a couple of paid content on there that I'm going to launch for a later date. But yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm out. This is it. I'll catch you next week. Later.